Okay, so first of all, logbooks. So logbooks should have a cover page, should definitely have your student ID on it, and I would like it to have the name and the IP address of the computer that you are working on in the lab. All right. Now, other than that, it can have like a table of contents. I mean, you only have 2 lab sheets, so that's fine. Generally, an introduction would be good. You know, what we're doing for each lab sheet or each week in the lab, if you want to be more specific. You should have some methodology, so you need to explain what you're doing. So this student is just going to build a virtual network. So this is an MSc logbook. So they built everything from scratch. So have a network diagram of everything, and then pretty much step by step of everything that they did, all of the commands and all of the settings and changes that they made to the system. So this is pretty basic. Let's go to some more funky stuff later on. Installation. So yes, any changes that you make to files and so on, make sure that you explain them. So if you have a screenshot that's showing something, have a little bit of text explaining what the screenshot is actually showing. The order of events should follow the methodology of the lab sheet itself. So and you should be doing everything in the logbook as it is presented to you in the lab sheet, all of the tasks. Again, explanations of everything, a little bit of background theory on what you're doing would be nice. The idea is that you show me that you understand the material. Okay, so you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're setting up some services and so on. I need to know that you're not just repeating what I'm showing you on the lab sheet, and you're not just mindlessly following the instructions. You need to be able to show me that you understand exactly what's going on and to explain why everything is happening. Okay, IP addresses and everything else and so on and so forth. All right, you only have 2 lab sheets, so you only have Kickstart and LDAP, so it will be more simple. So I will expect, you know, half your logbook to be on one and half the logbook to be on the other. So what we will do next week in the class is I want you all to have your logbooks completed. Okay, by then. So this week will essentially be the last week that you will be working in the lab and doing stuff. What I can do next week is, if some of you are happy with your progress and you think that you're finished and everything else, I would like you to ask me to be examined first in the beginning. So if somebody needs this, you know, that last lab session in order to be, in order to have maybe an hour, 2 hours more to work on it, then it's fine by me. The important thing is that I go through everybody in the class within the allocated time slot in the lab, okay? And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we don't really exceed more than 5 minutes per person. Okay, so I will go around. I will actually have a piece of paper or a small logbook with me, and I will want you to show me the work that you've done on the computer. So just like I explained in the assessment tab in the module, there are specific things that I want to see to prove to me that you've done each of the 2 lab sheets. All right, and I will want your logbook to be open so that I can scroll through it and make sure that you have everything to the standard I want them to be. So I will give you a mark there and then. I won't tell you what it is, okay? But I will write a little bit of feedback on my notebook, and I will say, you know, John did all the work, has very good documentation, but his progress was relatively poor, so he's going for something like a 60% something. Okay, so he's going for a B. So then I will go and read your logbooks again, and if you do change my mind, then, you know, a B can become an A, and it can also go the other way. So if I noticed, for example, that somebody has copied something from somebody else, and it's not really, you know, it's hilariously wrong in the logbook, then of course that first impression of mine can also go down as well. All right. Now, for me to read your logbooks and for me to make sure that the logbooks that you submit are the same logbooks that I saw in the lab, the deadline for the logbook submission for each of the groups. So you are two groups. There's a group in the morning and a group in the afternoon. Yes. So the deadline for submission for each of the groups will be 15 minutes after the end of its lab session. So whoever is working in the morning group, and I know who's working in the morning group because remember I have a list with all of your student numbers and which computer you're sitting on. So when I create the submission inbox, I will allocate specific students to the morning inbox and specific students to the afternoon inbox. All right. So you need to submit your logbook. So it will be a normal Turnitin submission inbox on Moodle. And you can submit your logbook either in PDF form if you like, or in Word, or whatever you like, as long as it's a document that can be submitted. I would prefer it if it is in PDF form. Okay, it's more robust and all the formatting will always stay the same and everything else. So big preference for me, PDF form. Okay. Do we have to do the bonus to get an A? No, but it helps significantly. Okay, so somebody would be able to get an A without doing the bonus tasks. However, that would mean that everything else would have to be near perfect. And students that usually do all of the labs in near perfect way, then they usually are good enough and fast enough to do the bonus stuff as well. All right. No, so the submission inbox will be according to where you actually come. So I have a paper list with a diagram of the class, and I have where you're all sitting and whether it's morning or afternoon. So it has nothing to do with what the register of the university looks like. It will go according to my list. Okay. So that I will sit with you for 2-3 minutes. You need, it would help if you have your, well, I don't need to really. Yes, it would help if I have your student card with you. So let's make this a bit more formal. Yeah. Just to verify that it's you. And then I'll just write down your student number and the IP of the address that you're of the computer that you're working on, and then a little bit of feedback that I need, and so on. If you want, yes, so that's a good question, Oliver. So if you want, I can have a look at your logbooks this week or even early next week, okay, and let you know if they need any work, if they're not, if they're good enough or not. So obviously this defeats the purpose of, you making your logbooks and so on, but I can give you some feedback along the lines of your logbook is horrible, you're going to fail. I've never done that, so don't worry. But I can tell you, this is completely wrong. You shouldn't be doing this like this. You should be doing it like that. Okay. So I can give you some feedback on your logbook, or I can just tell you your logbook seems to be good enough, continue as it is. Or I might suggest like a small improvement if you need to have. I would say for you to have more chances of me looking at your logbook, send it to me by an email and make sure that the heading of the email, the title of the email is NETSS logbook feedback. Okay, ideally maybe with capital letters. So that will draw my attention out of the 30 or 40 emails I get every day, and have a look at it urgently because it is something that needs to be done by next week. All right, and please, if you want, it would help me if you do it before the weekend, and I can have a look at them in the weekend as well. All right. So this is how the assessment will work. I will go around. So basically I will be in the class, and whoever wants to go first, I'll just go and so on. Of course, if we reach the end of the class and I see that, I haven't marked all of you, then I will just randomly go and sit on people's computers and mark them there and then. Okay. So do not leave everything for the last minute, and do not hope to get something, a relatively big task out of the way on that last day. Okay. And I will certainly not be able to come and help you with anything because I will be going around marking students. Okay. I think that covers everything. Yes. Any questions?
I have a question that's not related to such as what you just said. It may be worth having a chat to you at the end of the session, so don't hold everyone up. It's regarding the email I sent you about the X2 Go issues I'm having.
Okay.
They're still being looked into by the help desk, so I have no update on really when I can actually remotely access my machine.
Okay.
So sort of hindering my progress really with completing the final parts of the
Right.
second lab sheet.
Okay.
I was just wondering whether I could have a bit of a chat with you about it properly at the end of the session.
Yeah, okay, stay in the end. Yeah, that's fine.
Is that all right? Thank you.
Okay, so any questions about LDAP in general? Any help that you might need before the lab on Thursday?
The LDAP bonus task, where it says that we've created the kind of account, but you can't log in graphically.
Yes, you can,
I
right?
do, I can, and I haven't done anything. Yeah, it's just what is.
Yes, this year magically everybody can.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's fine. Don't worry about it. I would think that if you cannot log in graphically, then there's something wrong with your system anyway. Okay.
Okay. I didn't want to snitch on myself, and then you say
No,
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 you've
no,
got to
it's
break
fine.
it to fix it.
Others have reported that look, vast, this just works what's happening. So yes, don't worry too much about it. I'll just give you all the marks anyway. All you need to do is have a screenshot of you logging in graphically, and that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, good. And on that piece of good news, I don't think we have anything else. Remember, if anything is wrong in LDAP, it's a typo. All right, and then that's it, really. I don't have anything else. All right, so I will stop the recording.